Good morning everyone. I am Priyanka Vasundar, Assistant Professor IT Department. In my previous video we discussed about relational algebra, and in this video we discuss about file processing system and also discuss DBMS versus file processing system. In our day-to-day life, number of times we need to store data in such a way that it should be easily accessible whenever required. The data may be the bank transaction detail, daily expenses, employee details, product details, etc. Before computer, such data was stored with the help of papers. After invention of computers, it became easy to store data with the help of files. In the earliest day, database applications were built on top of the file system. And traditional file processing system is a computer-based system in which all the information is stored in various computer fields or computer files. It stores data in a systematic way that the different departments of an organization can store their data in set of files, which helps to manage the data. It means that each file is independent of other file. Integration can be done only by writing individual program for such applications. Any changes to the data require modifying all the programs that uses the data, because each file is hard coded with specific information like data type, data size, etc. Okay. This is the example of file system, that is marketing, application program or production applications, and file or data files. We can say that data file. It means first step, that is production, second one is production application, and third one is data files. Same as it is here: manufacturing, application program, files, inventory, application programs, file, payroll, application programs, and file. Now we discuss some disadvantages of traditional file system or drawbacks of traditional file system processing. Consider an example of IT company database system where the data of all the employees is stored. In a professional IT firms, the tasks are always done as teamwork. Different teams are assigned for different projects, hence the data is stored in different files. Okay, now first one is data redundancy. Sometimes, as per requirement, some data may be stored in multiple files. Consider an employee having record in both employee and team files. The name and address of employee is stored in both these files. Means that the data get duplicated. If the data increases, it leads to higher storage and accessing cost. This duplication of data in various files is terms of data redundancy. Data redundancy means duplication of files in terms of data. In a traditional file system, it is very difficult to avoid this data redundancy. Now next one is data inconsistency. When data is to be updated, the data redundancy may lead the data inconsistency. The data inconsistency occurs when the data is not updated in all files simultaneously. When data is not updated in all files, then data inconsistencies occur. For example, if the designation of employee gets changed, then the respective changes should be made in both employee and team files. If for some reasons it is not done, then it leads to data inconsistency, because for the simple employee we may get different information which may create problem in the processing of data. Now next one is limitation of data or limited data sharing. It is difficult to share the data in traditional file system. Each application has its own private file and users have little choice to share the data outside their own application. To share data, we have to write complex program. It is nothing but limited data sharing. Then next one is difficulty when accessing the data. The need of the data access varies time to time. It means that different type of information is needed at different situations. For example, just consider that we want to retrieve the data of employee who do not have taken any leave throughout the quarter. In such cases, we have two options. We can access the data by manual method, or we have to write an application program to retrieve such customized data. Both the options are not convenient as both the team lead of wastage of time. If we do it, then only it may be possible that after some times we may require data with some another filter criteria. The data retrieval for customized information become difficult. Why it is difficult? Because the conventional file system does not provide any efficient and convenient way to retrieve the data. Now next one is data dependency. What happens in data dependency? In the files, data is stored in specific format or tab, semicolon or comma. Okay, if the format of any of the file is changed, then we have to make changes in program which process the file. But sometimes there may be many programs related with the same file. In such a cases or in such case, changes in all such programs should be done. Missing changes in single program may lead to failure the whole application. It's nothing but the data dependence. Now next type is that poor data control. Poor data control. In that, the traditional file system does not have centralized data control. The data is centralized or distributed. In the system, the same field may have different name in files of different department of an organization. This situation may lead to different meaning of some data field in different context of same meaning for different fields. This causes poor data control. It causes poor data control. Now next one is problem of security. It is very difficult to enforce security check and access right in a traditional file system. To the file we can set password protections. Okay, but what if we have to give access to only few records in the file? For example, in our database system, the project manager should be able to see all the data regarding team under him. Okay, the team leader should be able to see data about his specific team, but payment details of one project manager should not be accessible to his team member or any other project manager. In the conventional file system, the application programs are added in ad hoc manner, which makes it difficult to enforce the security constraint. Okay. Now, next drawback, that is concurrency problem. Concurrency means access of same data by multiple users at the same time. Access same data with the help of multiple users at same time. This is very important aspect as it leads to increase in the performance of system and faster responses. Many advanced systems allow the concurrent access and manipulation of data. For example, in our system, consider a record of an employee is accessed and updated by multiple users simultaneously at a time. This may lead to inconsistency of data. If the consistency is not controlled in a proper manner, okay. And in another example, if multiple transactions are made updation on same bank account, then it may show incorrect balance. If any other transaction try to access balance amount is between, it is very difficult to implement concurrency control mechanism on file system, okay, which lead to incorrect or wrong data retrieval. Now next one is poor data modeling of real world. It is difficult for file processing system to represent the complex data and relationship. This result is poor data modeling properties. It means that the real world applications are difficult to implement using file processing system. Also, data isolation. It is difficult to store the entire data in a single file. It is distributed in different files as per the category. This file may be in different format because of which it becomes difficult to write application program to access the data of this particular file. Now the next one is that integrity problem. Every enterprise has its own constraint while maintaining data in the file. Suppose in employee file, the employee ID must start with E. Such constraint can be added while writing application program. But later on, if any few constraints are introduced by the enterprise, then it becomes difficult to add this constraint again. The file processing system does not provide any functionality to handle this situation. Okay. Now the next problem is that atomicity problem. Failure in a computer system may occur many times. When failure occurs, if any transaction is in its midway, then it may lead to some incorrect data updation in this system. So consider an example, bank transaction where some amount is transferred from account A to account B. Initially the balance from account A is accessed and debited by rupees 1000. Okay, then we are going to credit it in account B. But before that the system crash occurs which halts the transaction. Now this situation leads to incorrect data updation in the balance of account A. In file processing system, it is very difficult to handle such situation to maintain the atomicity of database. The purpose of database management system is to solve all these problems and give functionality to store and manage data in efficient and convenient way. Okay, these all are the disadvantages of traditional file system. Now next we discuss database management system versus file system. There are some following differences between database management system and file system. What happened? Database is a collection of data. In database, the user is not required to write the procedure, and in file system is a collection of data. In the system, the user has to write the procedure for managing the database. Database management system gives an abstract view of data that hides the detail. Abstract view of data that hides the detail. In file system provide the detail of data representation of storage of that particular data. Then DBMS provide a cache recovery mechanism. It's provide cache recovery mechanism. Because of this reason, protects the user from this system failure. And file system does not have any crash mechanism. If the file system crashes while entering some data, then the content of the file will become the lost. Okay, database provide a good protection mechanism, but in file system it is very difficult to protect a file under the file. Okay. Also, DBMS contains a wide variety of sophisticated techniques to store and retrieve the data, and in file system can't efficiently store and retrieve the data. DBMS takes care concurrent access of data using some form of lacking, or in file system concurrent access has many problems like redirecting the file while other deleting some information or updating some information. So DBMS is the best as compared to file system. We discuss file processing versus database. In that, how do a database application and a file processing application different in the way they store the data? What happened in file processing system? Data is duplicated, but in database management system, only membership code is to be duplicated. Okay, here in file system, overall data is duplicated, but in database management system, only the membership code is to be duplicated. Now in this video we discuss about file processing system, then drawbacks of file processing system, and also we discuss database versus file processing system. Thank you so much for watching this video.